So YouTube, welcome back to another one of my videos. Today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be talking to you guys about the games that I am excited for from E3. Obviously E3 season has come and gone. It was a bit weird this year, I'm not going to lie, with all the digital presentations and stuff, and it just didn't give me that E3 kind of feeling and hype that I would usually have around about that time of year when you have like the in-person events. I feel like audiences are missing from live streams. But in saying that, there were some great games announced, and I'm just going to talk about here the games that I am looking forward to. So we're just going to go through each event and then talk about the games that I'm excited for from each event. So the first event we're going to talk about, and to me this was kind of like the start of E3, even though it wasn't an official start, and that was Summer Game Fest. This event I didn't actually watch live, I just kind of looked at the games that were announced and looked at the highlights. The two games that I was excited to see from this first one was Death Stranding's Director's Cut. I've been meaning to pick up and play Death Stranding for ages, and I kept hearing like rumors of there going to be a PlayStation 5 version with like additional content and DLC and stuff, and I've just kind of been waiting to hear that news, so I'm glad to have seen it, and I love like the Metal Gear Solid kind of references and stuff, so I will definitely pick up the Director's Cut, the PS5 version, when we get more details and a pre-order and stuff on that. And the other game that I was excited to see from Summer Game Fest, and we've seen it again in the Nintendo Direct, but the second game is 2 Point Campus. So this is like made by the people who done 2 Point Hospital, which is a game that I've always been meaning to get for my Switch. I've watched so many like gameplay and like let's plays and stuff of 2 Point Hospital, and it's a game like I love simulation games, I love building games and just stuff like that. 2 Point Campus is definitely one that I seen and I was like, I'm all about that. So the next event that we're going to talk about is Ubisoft. I actually liked Ubisoft's event. Like, it wasn't like the best, but it had some really cool announcements. First thing is Far Cry 6. What we've seen of that looks really good. I've never played a Far Cry game before, and I'd really be interested in like kind of delving into the series, but I always like starting a series from the start and playing through it, so probably not pick up Far Cry 6 day one, but I hopefully will pick it up in the future, but I'm excited for that to come out because it looks really good. And then the second game that Ubisoft announced at their event is one that I was just, this is probably one of my most hyped announcements from E3, and that is Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. So if you watch my recent pickup series, I actually picked this game up on the Switch for 19 quid from Game Pre-Owned, and I kind of went into it being like, alright, okay, I'll try it out. And it's a fantastic strategy game, so I'm so happy to see Nintendo and Ubisoft team up and do a sequel to this game because it's so good. It was actually leaked by Nintendo like before the event, which sucks because it would have been awesome if that was a complete surprise, but I was kind of watching the event waiting to see gameplay of it. But I really did like the first game, and I'm super excited for the second one. It's not coming to 2022, but I can wait, and I'm happy knowing that it's coming. So the next event that we're going to talk about is Xbox and Bethesda's event. I'm not really an Xbox person. I prefer PlayStation IP and I play a lot of Nintendo stuff, but Xbox have been, right now, they're taking my interest, and it was just a really solid presentation. First one that I seen that I really liked was 12 Minutes. This is one that I had seen at another event, and it's like a top-down kind of perspective of like a life story. It's got James McAvoy in it as well, which is pretty cool. It's got a pretty great, good cast for like a little indie game. It just looks like a really cool release. Hopefully picking that up if it gets a physical, probably through limited run or something down the road. The next game that I seen at Microsoft's event that really did pique my interest is Psychonauts 2. So Psychonauts is a series that I've never played, but the first one came out on the Xbox and the PlayStation 2, so it was in that era of games that I really love. And I've seen the gameplay of this, and it just looks really quirky and really unique and just right up my alley. I probably will play the first game before I pick up this one though, but still super excited. It's introduced me to a new series, so I love that. Another game from their event that I really liked was a game called Replaced. It was like this kind of pixel art style. They didn't really go into much detail on the game, but the art style alone was enough to sell me on it. I just hope that we get more info on it soon, but it looks like a really fun time and a really great game. Another game that you guys will probably be surprised to hear me mention that I'm kind of looking forward to and want to play at some point is Flight Simulator. So this is one that like my little laptop here is not going to run. So if I wanted to play the likes of this, I would need an Xbox, either Series S or Series X. I love simulation games. And Flight Simulator just looks so awesome. Like the fact that you can like fly around the world, and with like the console version you can land anywhere. Like I can fly over my house and stuff, and it's like real world maps, and it just looks really, really cool. And I just really want to try it out. And it coming to console just makes that dream achievable for me. So yeah, excited for Flight Simulator. It comes out in July, I believe. And the last game from the Xbox event that looked really like honestly blew me away was Forza Horizon 5. Now I've played the first Forza Horizon on the Xbox 360, fantastic games. I really do like racing games, and the Forza series is so good, and it just looked incredible. Like them showing you like, oh, here's what we filmed earlier, and then them showing you the in-game footage. If you blinked, you wouldn't even know that they changed frame. Like, the game just looks amazing. Yeah, I would definitely love to hop back into Forza. And also I have to mention the Xbox Series X mini fridge, because I just thought that was funny that they're actually making them. I would totally get an Xbox mini fridge, 100%. This event really did actually sell me on the idea of an Xbox, which Microsoft would probably be glad to hear. The next event that we're going to talk about is Square Enix. Oh no. So this is the start of the bad presentations at E3 this year. It had a lot of mobile games, which people don't really like seeing mobile games at E3. I know I don't. And literally the only thing that interested me from the event was them giving us more details on Life is Strange Remastered, which I'm excited for. Hopefully, I'm hoping that'll get like a separate physical release. So I was excited to get more details on that, and then I was also excited to get like more details on Life is Strange True Colors as well, because I'm so excited for that coming out in September. But yeah, that was all that there really was in the Square Enix presentation that interested me, but that is because I am a massive Life is Strange fan. But it was nothing really that they couldn't have just published. Like, it didn't really need to be part of this event, but I suppose they didn't have much. The next event that I'm going to be talking about at E3 was Limited Run's presentation, because I watched the Limited Run showcase live, because like I really like the limited editions that they put out. I've started pre-ordering more stuff from Limited Run. So the first thing that they talked more about, we kind of knew this was coming because they had announced it before, and it was Zombies Ate My Neighbors and then also Ghoul Patrol. So they're selling like a bundle of the two games together. So these are two like classic games, classic rare games for the SNES, and they're getting a remaster through Limited Run, and I'm really excited to try these games out. I've always seen them like, you know, in like best game compilations and stuff, and I've never ever played them, so it'll be awesome to get this on my Switch. So that's a pre-order for me. And the next two games that I'm really excited about, which they announced completely new at their presentation, was River City Girls Zero, which is like an NES game that they're like bringing to the Switch, I believe. And they also announced River City Girls 2. So that was like a whole new announcement that WayForward gave to Limited Run to like say. So I really loved the first River City Girls. I thought it was an awesome beat 'em up with a really funny kind of story. It had like a bunch of humor in it. It was a fantastic game. You would have seen I picked it up at the start of this year, I think it was. But yeah, it was awesome to see a second one being announced during this presentation, and I'm so excited to play Zero as well, because that's like where the first game was based on. Another game I seen at the event that I'd never ever heard of before, but it looks really good, was called Haven. The gameplay looks awesome, and like the art style looked really cool as well. It's kind of like hand-drawn animation, like rotoscope kind of looking. It looked really cool, so I'm definitely going to be picking that one up. And then another game called Going Under. This one just looked really quirky, and the art style just caught my attention. It just looks like it would be a ton of fun, so I'm definitely going to be looking out for the pre-order opening on that one as well. So the next event was Capcom. I was going into Capcom's event being like, I don't really know what they're going to announce. They could announce anything, but I didn't expect them to announce nothing new. Like, if you're holding an event at E3, She announced some new stuff that people can go and pre-order and people can go and buy. And saying that, I am really excited for the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I have never ever played an Ace Attorney game, and they just look so right up my alley. I love visual novels and stuff like that. So I haven't actually played many visual novels. I really need to get into like some of the classic ones. Ace Attorney is one that I really want to order. There's like, on PlayAsia, they have this listed as physical and 1, 2, and 3. I'm definitely going to order all of those in one go and just have them all. And finally, the last event at E3 for me. I know there was Bandai Namco after this, but I didn't watch that one. E3 for me ended with Nintendo. I know a lot of people didn't really like this direct and thought it was like, meh. For me, I really liked this direct because it was full of like niche titles that just appealed to me. The first one is they announced that Life is Strange Remastered and Life is Strange 2 Colors will be coming to Switch. It is awesome to see Life is Strange finally come to a Nintendo platform because it had been stuck with Xbox and PlayStation for so long. And I just think that these games will feel so at home on Switch. The next game from the Nintendo Direct that I was so hyped to see, even though it had leaked before the event, I was pretty happy still to see it, and that is Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. I played Super Monkey Ball growing up, like the original ones on the PlayStation 2 and stuff, and I'm just so happy to have these original games now being remastered for the Switch, because I can just dive back into them all and just relive my childhood playing Monkey Ball. I used to love Monkey Ball. I have not played any of the new entries because I've seen that they had like put walls around the things, and the new games never appealed to me, but I will definitely be buying this remaster because I love the old games so much, and I'm so excited to see Monkey Ball make a comeback. Another game that I seen at the Nintendo Direct that I was like, take my money Nintendo, and that was WarioWare Get It Together. This was one announcement that took me completely by surprise. I know that there was that survey that went around where like people were posting screenshots on Twitter and it was like, would you pay so many dollars for like a new WarioWare game or whatever? I was expecting to see it maybe in 2022, but I wasn't expecting to see it at this direct. It's just really stupid fun, and I love the humor in it, and it's just such a great series, and I think a lot of people sleep on it, but this one looks fantastic. I watched like some of the Treehouse gameplay and it just looks like a ton of fun, even to play with friends now as well. So yeah, I'm really excited for the new WarioWare game. And the last game that I'm really excited for from the Nintendo Direct is Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. So I've mentioned before that I love like tactics games and strategy games and stuff. Fire Emblem being one of my favorites. And I know that Advance Wars is like one that a lot of people point to as being like a really good one. I've never played Advance Wars, but I've always been meaning to get into it, but it's been really hard to get like original Game Boy games at the minute. There's a lot of fakes for them on eBay, and then the real ones go for a lot of money, and then you get outbid, and it's a whole thing. So I've been trying to get a hold of these games for a while, and I just wasn't able to. So excited that these are being remastered and put up and re-released on the Switch, because that means I can play them and hunt for the original cartridges later. But that is all of the games that I was really excited to see from E3 this year. Hopefully I will pick up a lot of these and add them to my game collection. But yeah, I thought it was an okay E3 this year. I understand the impact of COVID and stuff kind of had development, so a lot of companies maybe weren't ready to show as much as what they wanted of games, or maybe they weren't ready to show some games and stuff. I think that the two best events off this E3 was definitely Xbox's. It was one of their best events I think they've ever done, and the Nintendo Direct was also a massive highlight to me as a Nintendo fan. Let me know in the comments down below what games do you like in E3, and what games do you think that you'll be picking up for your Switch, your PlayStation, your Xbox, or whatever. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up, and also subscribe to love, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.